I have no idea what song I'm supposed to be humming. Okay, mic's good. Sorry, I'm gonna be chewing on a bagel. This is my dinner. I did eat other stuff prior, but it's late and I want to get started. Be sure to hydrate. It's not tropical theme. These are marigolds. But yeah, I had to completely switch my setup because Streamlabs updated last night, and all of the update notes said it was going to be just for their OBS connections. I thought, oh, that's fine. I also use OBS to stream on YouTube because I didn't know, or at least when I first started using OBS, you couldn't switch between platforms. You still kind of can't. You just have to re-sign in every single time. Rip previous setup. Yep. Rest in peace. 07 in the chat for old setups. So, last night, if you look at the VOD history, that stream only lasted like 30 minutes. Because Streamlabs fucking crashed. And it didn't just crash. Okay? Because usually when a stream software crashes, you just need to reset it, reboot it, and everything's fine. It crashed so hard, my screen went black. Firefox also crashed. And not only did my screen also turn off, it went completely black. It reset my screen. So my you know how on your monitors you can customize the lighting and settings and whatnot? Yeah, complete reset. Everything had a blue tint to it. It looked awful. Sounds like a major technical issue. Was it just a you thing? See, I don't know. So, but it pissed me off so much, I just got rid of Streamlabs this morning. Completely went, whoosh, just it no longer exists on any fashion in on my computer. So now we're streaming on OBS. So now Twitch and YouTube are going to look and sound exactly the same. Which may be a good thing because of cohesion, but also that means I have to manually hit record for my Twitch, for the streams, in case I want to post my Twitch VODs on my YouTube VOD channel, which is linked, but it's just here again. So, with that out of the way, oh, Poe. There we go. Does that mean no YouTube streams for now? No, YouTube streams are still happening. I just have to go into my settings and switch and reconnect my account every time. Not the biggest inconvenience in the world. It just means that's an extra step I need to do. Then, to say that I was livid last night. Ooh. I was... that would be an understatement. What layer am I even supposed to... This layer. Who's the four-legged creature? Whomst? Oh. The character we are working on today is Carney. He's one of my furry OCs for my non-existent comic Doom's Children, and he is going to be on Art Fight this year. But I just need to redo his ref because his design's been updated. And I just hadn't gotten around to it earlier. What's Doom's Children? Yeah, it's a non-existent comic I have in my brain that's just for my furry OCs. Because back in early 2016 and 2020, I got, shall we say, addicted to buying adoptables. And a lot of them did go to some other stories and now are part of my official pantheon of stories. But others that were just cute little sparkle dogs, like this guy, not so much. So I just created a little world where they all live together in a mansion. And they're the adopted children of my old fursona, Doom, spelled Dume. Why is my pen doing that? I don't know. Just scrapped OC lore comment they decided not to make. I would love to make it one day, but it can't, you know, it'll have to be at a time when I'm not trying to do another thing. Maybe it'll exist just in the form of illustrations and one of those single panel, like, long form comics that are just like cute little character interactions, and just the lore will exist in their bios. But who knows? Who knows? It's not a priority for me, so I'll just come up with lore, and that, you know, we can all just have fun drawing them in. Yep. Shall we say the word? I have other, I hate to say official project, I should say original, um, stories that I honestly should be working on more. Speaking of Warrior Cats, we're finally getting a Warrior Cats animated series. Is that like for real? Because I remember when the movie was announced. Like, oh god, how long ago was that? Like 2018? When they announced that we were going to be getting a movie? But if it's a TV show, that'll be a little bit better. That way they can fit more lore. Like, and not have to rush, hopefully not rush, and include, you know, not cut so many characters. But depending on who's running the show, if it's Netflix, I have no hope, because what Netflix did to Watership Down still pisses me off to this day. On Twitter? Oh, that's probably why I didn't hear about it. I do not have a Twitter for my own mental health. I used to way long ago, and no mas. We don't know who's running it, only that it's a real show. Well, when it eventually does come out, I will probably look into it and then maybe have something to say about it. And that's only because right now I'm not that interested in it. Who knows? Maybe by the time it finally comes out, I'll be, you know, real pumped. I'm sorry if you guys can hear noise coming from the living room. Um, my family is watching TV, so if you hear any loud yelling or gunfire, explosions, and whatnot, they're just watching Person of Interest, which actually is a really good show. For learn anything, thanks. It'll be good to keep up on. It's quiet on. Okay. Because I switched from Streamlabs to OBS, the noise gate settings are completely different. And I haven't had the time to go through and adjust them because I don't know why I didn't think to do that today. No, I know why I didn't, because earlier today my computer literally uh black screened several times within an hour, and I was just no. You know what? As soon as I get this immediate thing fixed, I am not doing anything strenuous. And then I kind of just gave up for the whole day. But it is now night, so we can boogie now. It's so funny. Like, the one time I'm like not tired for a stream and I'm like completely energized and got conversations on lock, and was on a roll with conversation and was like the stream was going really well in my mind, and then whoosh, crash, completely killed my momentum, and I couldn't reboot Streamlabs. It just would not work no matter how many times I tried to reopen it. Yeah, it happened midstream. I only got 30 minutes into the stream before it just went. The VOD's still on my channel because it's really funny. I was about to get into a side tangent about burnout and how it actually is a serious condition that a lot of people don't take that seriously, and they really should. And I'm almost afraid to get into that topic, because then what if it crashes again? We're only 15 minutes in. Let's not do that. And I thankfully now Medibang Paint Pro is the real MVP of last night, because despite everything that happened, Medibang never crashed. And none of my progress was lost. The only thing I lost was the stream. That was it. Everything else was beautiful. Mwah. Maybe Streamlabs doesn't like mental health talk. I don't know what happened, but my entire computer just like completely stopped working. And I don't mean like it refused to turn on. I mean like it felt like someone just cranked down its I don't know, it was like GPU or CPU, I don't know the difference between them, but it just cranked down the processing speed to like a 2. So it took 3 to 5 business days for it to recognize that I moved the mouse, and I hated every second of it. I was like, you know what? Okay, yeah, that's a skull. 4'8". Short king. Especially compared to the rest of the household. Because he's a little terrier. Okay, I'm gonna put all of this in a folder just so I can keep track of these sketches. There we go. Thought he was a wolf. I do have other wolf characters. But no, he's not a wolf. He's a puppy. He's... Ugh, flashbang. He's supposed to be this species of dog. A little terrier. Now, the reason why he doesn't have all his scruffy fur is because he has just left the entertainment industry, and now he's allowed to have long fur. So here his fur is just starting to grow back in because it's only been a year in like lore timeline. Gonna make it he was a singer. He was a pop star. So he's like he's 15. He started performing in as, you know, a singer and dancer at like 10. He's basically Carney is a character that I use to critique the and call out the predatory nature of the entertainment industry, especially for children. So like Michael Jackson was started over. Michael Jackson, also like Britney Spears. If you learn anything, was it Britney Spears? Where like she won a beauty pageant at 10 years old, and it was so disgusting because in every interview it was just a bunch of adults talking about her sex appeal. She was 10 years old. In unrelated news, there's a new hole in my drywall. Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's not just the entertainment industry, it's also the parents of the children in that industry that have failed them. I'm going to, for these small versions of him, I'm going to use the other pen, just so the line art doesn't take up too much space. I'm pretty sure it was Britney Spears. For that one interview, at least. I know Miley Cyrus also had her fair share of abuse. Was yeah, Miley Cyrus. She definitely makes a lot of money, and it was a different era between Miley and Britney. That we're the same decade. No, no. Britney Spears was like 90s. Miley Cyrus was early 2000s. I think so. I didn't grow up with reality TV. I don't know if they're from the same era. Someone fact checkers. Google debunk it. I saw this cute nose ring on Pinterest where it's supposed to look like a heart. And I wouldn't know how that would work on a dog nose, so and I added some jewelry on it, so I don't know if it actually works, but for now I think it looks at least cool, semi cool. And even if it doesn't look cool, it's, it's idle fashion, so it doesn't actually have to make any sense as long as it just sells crap. As long as it looks marketable for the public to buy, to throw their shills into a corporation that is exploiting children. Yeah, they'll make him wear whatever he needs to. I was also kind of thinking about that one My Little Pony episode with oh, what was her name? With Rah Rah. That Applejack episode where she had that friend that became a pop star and she didn't realize her manager was just such a piece of shit. I know her stage name was the Countess. Was born in 1920, 1902, 80. Okay. Okay. I did not recall. It was in one of the later seasons. And it wasn't anything like what I was talking about, but the story of the pop star still being a kind person and wanting to be true to herself, breaking away from her control freak manager, and going independent. This song that she sings in that episode, what is it called? I think it's called The Magic in My Heart, and it's a it's one of those songs that I can't even sing along to it because it just boom, punches me right in the face. Mm. That's how you know it's way more than a kid's show? Oh, absolutely. A lot of people dog on My Little Pony, especially Friendship is Magic, but ooh, ooh. I was a brony back in high school. Well, actually, I was a pedisister. And I remember getting more than a few side eyes for being a high schooler watching a kid show. But it's like, y'all watch anime. Fuck off. Main attraction is the magic inside. Okay, yeah. The episode, yeah. The main attraction, the magic inside. There was also the other song called Razzle Dazzle. That one was also really good, but it does kind of lean into the performative, not yeah, performative side of performance. Just it's all just a spectacle. It's just razzle dazzle, glitz and glam, nothing deeper than that. Just there to look pretty up on stage, to not actually be a real, not be a real person. You're just an icon. People have made plenty of remixes of it to make it like a full EDM song. It's really good. That's one thing I do miss about the brony fandom is all the just the music, the creativity of that fandom is was so amazing. I mean, the furry community has that too, but I don't know of any furry songs. And then that might just be because I'm not looking. But of all the fandoms I've been in, Warrior Cats and My Little Pony were some of the best fandoms. I mean, yeah, Warrior Cats had their problems. However, Warrior Cats had a lot of artists and animators that would, animate sections of the books. That was just amazing. I am gonna give him the not the Justin Bieber, the fuck ass boyfriend haircut that everyone has. Yep, Lullaby for a Princess, yes. Give me more razzle dazzle. Glitter eyes, big surprise, lights, cameras. Oh my god, what are you doing? Stop that. I love Lullaby for a Princess. That's one of those songs that I still listen to this day, and it just so good. I also love The Moon Rises. That one is also really good. Ponyphonic was just so good. There even is Attempted Warrior Cats fan series that got scrapped after a few episodes. SS Warrior Cats. I remember that one. Ah, nostalgia. They used a copywritten anime song for their intro, and it was so funny. Had a full voice cast, an animation team. They were doing the first book. It was almost word for word, and then they added a few extra scenes just for anime bullshit, which was fun. Wait, so I need to reread that 3 times. Apparently, Gen 6 is being accused of using AI and using Lauren Faust's designs in CG. I mean, that is incredibly disappointing, but also I didn't like Gen 6. Wouldn't it technically be Gen 5? No, Gen 5 was the other movie. I didn't like Gen 5. I didn't know about Gen 6. But yeah, if they're using AI, honestly, I hate to say it, not surprised. Razzle dazzle, glitz and glam, turn it all up. It's a spectacle. Hear the applause, here to impress. Not just a pony, I am the countess. Here to show you who I am. Yeah, Gen 5 was the one where that whole creepypasta came out that I actually didn't think the creepypasta was that good. I don't remember what it was called, but it was the one where everyone drew the art of Twilight yelling at the new main character saying that magic was not yours to give. Not cupcakes, which that one was the first creepypasta, which also wasn't that good. Honest opinion, I didn't think Cupcakes was that good. It's a classic. It's a classic. It's the first MLP creepypasta, but if you actually listen to it, it wasn't that good. Didn't hear about the newer creepypasta? Oh yeah, there was one where it's this creepypasta is based on Gen 5. And I listened to it, and I just was not that impressed with it. The scare factor of it was like, okay. But then again, excuse me, Something Sweet to Bite and Apple Sleep Experiment kind of spoiled me when it came to MLP creepypastas because they are the ones that were just, ugh. Absolute cinema. Even though they were creepypastas. I haven't heard Fallout Equestria. I did read, well, not read, I listened to Silent Ponyville. The first one was really good. The second one was okay. I hated the ending. I couldn't find the third or fourth one in their completion that was of good quality. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, Silent Ponyville. Very good. The first two I highly recommend. I don't know about the third and fourth one. I didn't finish them, but yeah, they were also very good. Actually scared the willies out of me a few times. But then again, that just might have been the sound. I keep forgetting I changed my hotkeys. And before I just that needs to be just a little bit. There we go. That's exactly where it was. Who cares? Who cares? Who the hell's got the time? Also, if you hear birds chirping loudly, I have my window open. But the curtain's closed because if I had the curtain open, this is all y'all would see. Flashbang. Oh, I forgot my bagel. I don't remember who did the audio versions of Silent Ponyville 1 or 2. I think Silent Ponyville 2 was done by the Lost Narrator, if I remember correctly, and the first Silent Ponyville was done by. Was it Emogak? Or someone else? I don't remember. Long, long time ago since I listened to it. You're not gonna crash on me, are you? Okay. I've just been I've been holding my breath the whole time. Just waiting. Always watching. No eyes. Always watching. No, since he's a teenager, they wouldn't allow him to have any sort of armpit hair. Despite being old enough to shave. I don't mean to torture my OCs. You know, His lore is sad, you know, because he was in this abusive situation, but in the main timeline of the comic, he's in a much better place. He got out of that situation, he found a good home, he's been adopted, you know. The one thing I kept consistent about my fake Doom's Children comic is that all the characters are adopted by my old persona. And it's just a cute found family story. Well, cute. I mean, I don't mean to pat myself on the back here. I should be recording this stream for my VOD channel. However, I don't know if my computer can handle that right now, so I'll just download the VOD later. There we go. Okay, I'm gonna erase the hair so that I don't have to work around the fingers. There we go. There. Actually, I should drop that to here. There we go. I know Carney is kind of supposed to be an American pop star, but I didn't know how to like design his stage, his stage outfit. So I just kind of put looked up idol fashion and just kind of put him in just K-pop idol attire, which turns out to be like either cutesy little suits or streetwear, which makes sense given the fact that idols are singing and dancing. In both outfits, the dance movements would be accentuated and exaggerated. So, no, that's not how you do it. You do it that way. Okay, now he's got a... How did I design it? It was a... Okay, loop, chain, heart, and then chains. Okay. I'm feeling good. There we go. Alright, now for this, for my next magical trick, I'm going to chain. That needs to be thicker for our purposes. Chain. Chain. We'll do 4. There we go. This is how you make little like beaded jewelry or little you can do it with metal chains. You can do this little trick with just about anything. Instead of drawing individual little circles, which would absolutely drive you insane, just draw a solid line about the width of what you want the loops to be, and then erase the rest. And then there you go. Okay. I don't have any tips and tricks for how to do the parts that overlap each other. So I think that's just going we're going to learn that together. We are going to learn that together. Just be sure to erase the Oh, this is that episode. Sorry, I can overhear the TV show they're watching, and they've gotten to the part where it's one of my favorite, where we meet our one of my favorite characters. So it's just, damn. All right, well, there we go. Okay. Phew. All right. I forgot to say. Do not be like me. Always save. Always save. Do not be like me. Are we gonna get to the coloring phase? You know what I'm gonna do, since yesterday's stream was a bust, I'm going to stream this until I collapse. Fate has been cruel and water unkind. How can I have The harmony's silent today, but into the stillness I'll bring you a song, and I will your company keep till your tired eyes and my lullabies have carried you softly to sleep. Once did a pony, yeah. Once did a pony who shone like the sun look out on her kingdom and sigh. She smiled and said, surely there is no pony so lovely and so well beloved as I. So great was her reign, so brilliant her glory, but long was the shadow she cast, which fell dark upon the young sister she loved, and grew only darker as days and nights passed. Lulay moon princess, good night sister mine, rest now in moonlight's embrace. Bear up my lullaby, winds of the earth, through cloud and through sky and through space. Carry the peace of the coolness of night, and carry my sorrow in kind. Luna, your love so much more than you know. Forgive me for being so blind. Soon did the pony take notice that others did not give her sister her dues. Actually, I shouldn't have the nose ring here since this is just his marking, so yeah. And neither did she love her as she deserved. She watched as her sister's unhappiness grew. But such is the way of the limelight, it sweetly takes hold of the mind of its host. And that foolish pony did nothing to stop the destruction of one who had needed her most. Lulay moon princess, good night sister mine, rest now in moonlight's embrace. Bear up my lullaby, winds of the earth, through cloud and through sky and through space. Carry the peace of and the coolness of night, and carry my sorrow in kind. Luna, your love so much more than you know. May troubles be far from your mind, and forgive me for being so blind. The years now before us, fearful and unknown, I never imagined I'd face them on my own. May these 1,000 winters swiftly pass, I pray. I love you, I miss you, all these miles away. May all your safe upon your bed of moonlight. So I thought someone was yelling. And no, not of sadness, pain, or care. And when I dream, I'll fly away and meet you there. I should have done some vocal warm-ups before streaming, but yuck. I am nothing if not professional. Nothing if not... Wait. If not unprofessional. Double negatives. When I first heard that song, and for years afterward, that song used to make me cry so hard that I couldn't even start singing it without getting choked up. Now, I mean, if I were listening to it, I would probably get a little bit choked up. Because, memories and whatnot, and I'm more of an auditory person by default. Especially if I was also watching the music video, I would definitely be crying all over the place. But singing it off the top of my head, yeah, I'm a little bit better about it. But that might also be because I'm got the performer heart. No, I don't actually have a performer's heart. The show must go on. But theater does run in my family a little bit. But the genes did not get passed on to me. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna erase that shoulder. Because I can't be bothered. And then just do. Copy, paste, Control T, flip. And there we go. Okay. Save. Okay, I'm going to... No, I still need that one. Now for my next magical trick. Oh my god. Next magical trick. Copy, paste, Control T, flip. And then we put them over here. And then we... You know what? I'll include the hair. What the hell? And then you just erase the inside line art. If you copy paste, why he... Okay, Carney has this high density of muscle definition because he's a singer and dancer. Okay, that's what we're going with. Yep, that's what we're going with. Not just because I defaulted to my typical anatomy style of just drawing muscular men, big biceps. Even on women, man, I cannot go a single character drawing that where I don't catch myself accidentally giving them big beefy arms. How am I gonna do? I've never thought about the back of his head, so this is going to be an interesting journey for all of us. Oh, one cat's in the yard. Which one is his? So is it? It's that one. I'm purposefully flattening his ass because this is supposed to go up on Toy House, and Toy House does not like any sort of nudity. So unfortunately, the retired dancer, is not getting much of a booty cheeks. But his tail would be right there. So he's getting this and that. If you hear a lot of annoying meowing outside, there's a stray cat that's been hanging around the place. And he's an intact male. And he's been checking out our girls, even though they're all fixed. So they want nothing to do with him. Okay, so back of the head. On this ref, the hair just kind of stops here, so I think I'll line it this marking. I'll match it up to here so that because the green on his ear and the hair are the same green. So if I and there's no green back here either. So if I just have just that. And then like that. Okay. put those on the same line. This guy can get put down just a little bit lower. Oh, I forgot. I forgot. He has, fishnet laces. No, those bad lines. Bad lines. And then, where's my stipple pen? Stipple pen, stipple pen, stipple pen. Smudge, sparkle, stipple. There we go. Now that's good texture. It's not completely nude under there. We can't have that. Okay. Okay. Line art is done. Now we move on to the coloring, which is going to be interesting. I'll start with this. His official markings. So that way, that's at least out of the way. Let's put another layer here. That color. And I'm going to put these two on the same layer just so it's a little bit easier to work with. And then we meticulously go through and erase every single little thing. And I'm feeling good. I don't think I'm gonna color the old Idol one because his colors wouldn't have changed and the outfit, you know, it would just be bloody blah. So I think I'll just gray it out. Okay, that's what's making him look a lot older than he's 15. When does the Adam's apple thing become a thing? Okay, that might be a little bit better. Yeah. Yep. Down to here. There. Whoops, whoops, whoops. That was almost a disaster. There we go. Always pay attention to the little things. And I'm feeling good. Why does it say unstable? Why does it say unstable? Why does it say stream unstable? What am I supposed to do? Average stream bitrate too high? What? Is... That's 60 frames per second is... Okay, the 6,000 K... The fuck just happened? Did it fucking crash again? I swear to God. It still says live. It says I'm still streaming. It's just the red dot went away. Okay, well... We'll just continue on. And I'll just remember... I had it set to recommended bitrate. So I don't know what the dealio is. Don't ask me why a little furry terrier guy has stripes. That's just the rule of the Sparkle Dog. First rule of Sparkle Dog. Rule number 1, don't question it. It's spoiling the fun. Unfortunately, we do have another case of the leading line stripe, so ignore that. Now, his legs baffle me. Oh, and I... Pause. His toes. In his last design, I don't know why I didn't color his toes a darker green. You know, the darker green that's on his ref sheet. I don't know why I didn't do that. Okay, so... We're gonna have to live troubleshoot. How do you change... bitrate settings? Okay, 6,000. Alright, is that good? Hopefully that did something. I don't know if it actually did anything, but, you know. The more I freak out about it, the less I'll be entertaining. Dance, funny streamer, dance. Be funny, be wacky, make jokes. Say, I'm shy, that's high. Hi, Sanchez. Hopefully it won't stream the... it won't crash this time. Different setup. I had to switch over to OBS because I that was the last straw. I was using Streamlabs before, and that was the last fucking straw. So I just yeeted it off my computer. Hopefully the because I just changed the bitrate settings, so hopefully that doesn't fuck anything up. It still says unstable, which it's making me nervous. And anyway, we just did the line art of the reference sheet I was working on last night, so now we're working on the coloring, which is great. I've been compulsively saving every 10 minutes from what if I remember it, I'm gonna save immediately, just save immediately. Because, oh my god. Hey, last night, some amazing, shocking good news. Last night, when the stream crashed, my art program didn't crash at all. It saved everything. So it's just, oh, thank you, Medibang. I could kiss you. Was never good with colors. I struggle with colors too. Like, this character I got as an adoptable, so I didn't design him at all. Because my default setting when it comes to coloring animals or any creature is neutral tones with a pop of a wild color, and that pop of color is usually just in the eyes. But other than that, I struggle super hard when it comes to like sparkle, colorful, like the typical furry color palette. That is not. I'm not one of those furries. I'm neutral tones. Which isn't bad. I'm a little bit better with it when it comes to like ponies. Okay. That is the same green. Yeah, that's the same green. Okay, I'm putting, his green heart design is just below his collarbone. I'm putting it a little bit lower than what it was on his last ref. Just so when he wears shirts, it's barely... Actually, no, I do need to put it lower, because when he wears a shirt, it's, like, barely peeking out. So that's too high. It's just a little bit lower. There we go. There. Speaking of Wolf in 3D, he's going to be half robot. That's all I know for now. That's awesome. I'm just amazed at people who can wrap their head around 3D modeling programs, because it just seems like it's a lot of math, and I'm no good with math. Yeah, so much work. Oh, I don't deny, like, the workload alone must be killer, but it's just the technicalities of it is what I struggle with the most. That's why I couldn't get into it when it first started, but then I focused. Then one day, and bam, here I am now. The power of locking the fuck in. Speaking of locking the fuck in, man, I need to lock the fuck in when it comes to YouTube and streaming, because due to personal reasons, really need it to, like, start bringing in money. And I know the economy is shit, and not and everyone else is struggling, so I feel bad. Like, oh, if just have any spare change. I feel like I'm just some bum standing on the side of the corner going, spare change, spare change. But we're all bums on the side of the corner saying spare change. I mean, if I was really desperate for money, I'd open up not safe for work commissions. But then every time I open up for commissions, no matter what they are, oh, never, it never works out. I hear there's a lot of money there. Oh yeah, especially if it was furry not safe for work commissions. Woo! Yeah, I could never. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't know how to draw that kind of anatomy anyway. And I'm not sex averse. It's just when it comes to, like, that type of thing, I'm just kind of just I'm not comfortable drawing that kind of thing, because then I'm also of the oh, what if my mom walks in? Like, how can I explain that? It's for bills, I swear. But yeah, I mean, I'm not special when it comes to that kind of situation, because I feel like we're all just barely making it by. I don't mean to bring down the mood or anything. I'm sorry, guys. I should just be happy all the time and be entertaining, funny streamer man. As much as I would like my streams to be a safe space, part of mental health is venting. I kind of want to get like have his green tips fade. Like the green tips of his hair were dyed that way for performing, but this is how his adoptable looks. So I think he naturally looks like this, which is why he was picked out by like a talent scout, because he already looked like an idol. So it was like less work for the makeup artist to do. It's so funny, talking about depressing shit like a busted economy and you know, greedy politicians while drawing a lime green, neon green, I said green so many times, my bad. I just, a neon furry sparkle dog while I worked on his rep sheet for Art Fight. God, I can't wait for Art Fight. June, I have a feeling this month is going to just crawl by. And ugh, not prepared. Okay, that says it's still going. Okay, so bitrate is back to a good uh level. So I just needed to lower the bitrate on my OBS. That's all I needed to do. Okay, that's not needed. Just feather out the tips just a bit. Just to make it look just a tad tiny bit more realistic. Get rid of that. Because despite having a highly cartoonish art style, my rendering style goes absolutely hard. What's that? The other thing, this. Okay. Hair, ear, eyes, nose, neck, stripe, back, tail, arms, leggy, feet. Okay. Now we just take that and we put it over here. So, okay. Now for his back, based on the old ref, he does have stripes that are supposed to match up. So that's going to be really hard matching up because this darker green bit. Oh, I didn't even notice that. It actually forms a heart. Because you got this. This does not connect in the back, so So something like that. And then this. And then that's his tail. How the hell am I gonna do this? Because he's got this, this, th this, and then this extra marking on the booty, which I did not include. How the... Okay. Okay, I think we got it. You know, I don't have to treat this like I'm doing a commission. I can just change his design. I already did change his design from the original adopt. His back markings can be whatever the fuck I say they are. So I say so. There we go. There we go. Okay, but that still does not... This is still here. I still don't like that. Alright, hang on. We're gonna... I might go nonverbal, guys, and I do apologize. No, that's not good. Is that it? You know what? Yeah, I'm just gonna say he's got a heart design on his back as well with the dark. Maybe a little bit of that too, just so it looks like a broken heart. Oh, I'm so emo. And then these markings just repeat. Except the palm bits. I am making the executive decision that the palm... actually, no, because here... Shoot, I didn't even realize that. His palms are different. Now, I do like that. I do like how his palms are different. That means this blue bit is his... Whoop, that's the wrong color. This is thumb. I keep switching to the wrong colors. This. I didn't draw his paw pads because I typically don't keep them on some of my furries. Some furries do get paw pads, but most of the time they don't because I'm just drawing them as people with animal-like features, so they're more kimono mini. Not kimono mimi. They are very much furry, but they're more like furry because they have like more human-like anatomy with just some human with some animal features. Okay. And then his hair. I did that on the wrong layer, but you know what? We're just going to pretend that everything is okay. That was the wrong lasso tool. How did I get into art? Well, like most kids, I just started drawing um, on pen and paper, and I never stopped. I got really into it. I got kind of good at it, and I saw it as a way for me to help tell my stories. Because as much as I spend a lot of my time drawing and whatnot, I feel the most creative and in my element when it comes to writing. Now, my writing hasn't really been on the internet because, you know, writing is kind of a boring, like the Write With Me streams are kind of boring unless I showed people what I was writing, but then again, what I'm writing is like I plan on publishing it one day, so then it gets pretty spoilery. But I've had this conversation before, and it's just ugh. I'm more of a writer at heart, even though I draw a lot more because like live streaming your art process and posting it gets you, you know, it gets more views. I still enjoy art. I mean, I draw things away from stream all the time without ever posting them. But yeah, I just had a lot of stories in my head that I needed to get out and just get out into the world. And since I wasn't that good at writing and publishing, and you know, at the time I wasn't that good at writing, and publishing takes like 5 years to do, not even 5 years, a million years to do, I just drew them just to make them exist in the world in some capacity. Because then maybe if people like the art, I'm on the wrong layer, but who cares? If people like the art, maybe they'll be interested in the characters, and then I can tell them about my characters, and then get into you know the writing. I used to stream the work for my graphic novel on YouTube a long, not even that long ago. It was like 2 years ago. I don't remember. That's something I have to learn too. Yeah, I'm just allergic to spoilers, so I feel like if I post my writing anywhere, it's spoilery, even though I could just and I'm also allergic to writing short films or any like one-off series because I get way too invested in the story and characters, and then it just becomes this whole thing. I mean, there are several series that I have that were supposed to be just one-off little things, and then they just kind of grew and grew and grew because I can't stop myself. I literally cannot stop myself. So when it comes to like Doom's comic, the Doom's Children comic that this character is from, I purposefully haven't been writing anything for it because it would consume my life. So they only get the attention that they deserve for Art Fight. Which is a little, unfortunate because I do love these characters. I love their designs. The lore that I'm coming up for with them is so cute. I do love it. However, I ain't gonna be alive forever. So I have 12 official stories that need to get worked on in some capacity to get published. So, chop chop. Okay. Okay. That is that colored. Now for his main ref, which I'm just going to put up here, which hopefully won't be as hard to color because he's wearing clothes. There we go. I changed his eyes this design. What did I change them to? Oh, I didn't change them. I just changed them to green. Okay. That's already that selected. Ooh, do. Okay. Here. Well, that's gonna be annoying because that color is the same as this color because I just could not be fucked to come up with new colors. Oh well. They're cute though. I might need to move that to over here. My elbow's starting to hurt. Well, that's too big. There. Oh man, this chair. Oh. Posture check. What pen? I used the G pen for that one. Not the airbrush, the G pen. Doot doot. that's too big. There we go. Nose. His nose is the same color. Right there. There. This. There we go. Sorry, guys. I locked in a little too hard and I forgot to talk. Sorry. I almost choked on. There. Okay. And then his oh so troublesome eye markings that are never the same way twice. Shoosh. No one has to know. There's a reason why I am not an animator. Even though I have dabbled. Okay, there. And down here, It's too much work for me to animate it in 2D. Yeah, I have plenty of. Actually, no, the VODs are gone. Actually, no, the VODs are on my main channel where I was just doing an animatic, not even a full animation, just an animatic. That was like keyframes plus in 2D, and that was an entire 3 weeks of work, and it was, I mean, the end product was amazing, and I loved, actually, despite how much I was bitching the whole time, I loved every second of it, so I like it in that regard, but ooh man, animators do not get paid enough, that is for sure. That's why I switched to 3D. Made sense for what I want to do, yeah. Whatever medium works best for the story you want to tell. Deet, deet, deet. I'm pretty sure, you know, if I could ever figure out 3D modeling, um, getting illustrations done would be a lot faster because I would just have a 3D model of my characters and I could just pose them in a on a background and then post that. But it would still be a lot harder because then you have to pose the 3D model, and posing is the hardest part for me of all of the art process. That's why the sketching process takes so long for me. I'm trying to figure out the pose, but it's mostly me figuring out the anatomy of the pose. So maybe if the anatomy wasn't the issue, it was just the 3D model. But then if the rig breaks, every single art form has their drawbacks, challenges, and limitations. It's just what are you willing to lose sleep over is the real question. What are you willing to lose sleep over? But you also have to set up the lights and everything. Exactly, exactly. Like I could draw that if I like knew 3D modeling, I could use it as a reference at least. You know, like for my graphic novel because when I was working on my Dreamwalkers graphic novel, the biggest struggle I kept running into was keeping the characters looking consistent. And it's like if you have a 3D model of them, you can just like trace over it and then boom, they're consistent. But then it's like that's why a lot of comic artists are using Clip Studio Paint for its 3D modeling capabilities, which is cool, but Medibang and Blender are free. Clip Studio is not. Mm-hmm. Mm. Yeah, the bones. Which is why it's such a good idea to have a studio. Not just so you have a designated place to work, but then so you can just hire other people that are proficient in areas that you're not proficient in to help fill in the gaps. And then, you know, you have a united front working on many people working on the same projects. But the reason why a lot of people go independent is because A, social anxiety, and B, we don't have, I mean, if you want to hire a team to help bring your vision to life, you want to pay them for their work. But not a lot of us have the capabilities of paying others for their work, which is why I'm hesitant on getting started on my animated project ideas because you know it's not oh then I'd have to pay people. No, that's not the issue. The issue is because I would work for free. Absolutely, I would refuse a paycheck. I wouldn't take a paycheck for my own projects. Is that would want to pay everyone at the studio a good livable wage. But in this economy, a good livable wage is more than what most people make at any job or would ever hope to make. Which is just an unfortunate fact of this forsaken country. Try not to be salty about it. So, independent it is. Blender was so intimidating at first. Oh yeah, I've looked at screenshots of Blender and I just looked at it for 2 seconds and went, nope, nope, not for me, not for me. I'll just hire someone else. When I have the fee the funds and the means, I'll just hire someone else to do that. You know what I'm gonna do? Black, gray, white, and purple. Happy. Damn. Happy Pride Month, everybody. I hope all of you have a fun and safe Pride experience. Whether you're out and proud or in the closet for safety reasons, or for just being not ready. That is okay. You don't have to come out. I'm certainly not. But shush. Don't tell my mom. And then I don't know what's going to be on this thing. What is even this? What even is that? I mean, it's supposed to be like some sort of wristband or something to that degree, but would we... Why? Why? You know, I'm just gonna go with that. The gray is fine. He's already highly colorful. So now we're going to... Actually, no, let's just do Gauge and Blur. Actually, yeah, there we go. That. Gonna give your character something to stand on. There we go. Just a little bit of shading. I am not going to render this right now. I'm just gonna save it, and then when I'll look back at it later, probably tomorrow, and then we will see if I like it or if I have any changes that I want to make. So I'm just gonna leave that up for a bit because I mean, damn, almost 2 hours of work. Actually, no, a full 2 hours if we're counting the 30 minutes of last stream. It's 2 hours and 30 minutes to do this in entire rev sheet, and that's just the line art. That's not including the sketching phase, which also took a while. So, no, now that this is basically done, I'm going to take it off my... Not take it off. I'm going to mark... And it's done. Now, let's work on the other things on our flashbang. Hang on. The other guys. Just yes, save. Thought I did save it already, though. Oh well. Let's bring up his ref sheet, because in case I just need it. This is Stefan, spelled with an F. And he is my son. I mean, technically all of the characters in Doom's Children are my kids. But he's my little baby boy. He's just a baby. I'm just a baby. I'm still having struggles. I'm gonna have a stroke. Having a strong colobundulance. Pat yourself on the back if you understood that reference. That looks awful. Why are you doing that? Well, alright, just erase it then. If it's going to be a fickle little thing, you just clean it up. There. Alright, you have to sleep. Have a good night and good luck with the rest of your stream. Thank you. I mean, pray hands. Have a good night's sleep. Sweet dreams. If all goes well, I might be streaming more in the evenings. But it probably won't be That'll the evening streams will probably just be a Twitch thing. When my YouTube Friday streams, I will probably stay at around noon ish. So don't worry, YouTube kiddos. If any of you are also on the Twitch chat. All of the characters you are going to be seeing on stream for the next month or so are all going to be on Art Fight, and then the next month is just going to be all Art Fight on of other people's OCs. I want I want these to look soft, but I guess it can look a little bit wiry. That's fine. It's Harry Potter looking glasses. I mean, I should do a white base for him. I'll do a white base and then do all his pink on top. And then that's pink, and then that's pink. These are pink. It's that pink, and then the blue. The thing with a lot of furry OCs is they look complicated. Some of them look very complicated, but if you break it down to just a very few simple strokes, especially if you look at it from the perspective of like a fursuit, how would you like take all these random strokes and then make them like work for a fursuit? And that usually just means making the complicated strokes just geometric shapes like that. Or if you get one of those insane fursuiters that is willing to do airbrushing. Hats off to you. You're no status quo calico, so why keep trying to be? 'Cause you're more than that. You're a doggish cat. I wish you could see the you I see. I always think of that song when I look at my kitty dogs. Not just because all of them are named after Barbie characters from the old movies, but also just the song about a dog-ish cat. They're kitty dogs. I've said this before. Breaking news: streamer, whose art streamer runs out of things to say. Not really. There's plenty I could talk about, but the most like fun I have on stream is like the back and forth. And I know like the old saying that you need to be streaming the same way as you uh be streaming the same way with no people as you would with 100 people. And that would be, constant chatter and, looking at chat, looking at the camera, keeping the engagement going, keeping, up with conversation and all of that. It's just a really, really hard conversation, especially it's not like it's impossible or hard to talk to myself. Come on. I do it all the time for free. It's just there's a difference between talking to yourself, whoops, and talking to a camera. Recorded in front of a live audience. Because mostly when I talk to myself, are those supposed to be okay? Those are the darker colors. Okay. And then it's the lighter blue on the side. Okay. Oh, my cat wants in. One moment. Almost threw my screen out. Hey, you know, since it's night now, I guess I can open this up so I can get more of a breeze going. Yeah. How does... Oh, come on, mouse. Move! Fucking... Okay, that doesn't look too bad. It's just a whiteness of my... of my curtains. I can also open up my door. Hold on. I've been back and forth, since I've finished watching TV. Okay, yeah, y'all going to bed? Okay. Bit of a standing break. Man, I don't know how those professional bigwig Twitch streamers do it, you know? Streaming for like 8 hours on end. Granted, a lot of them also have standing desks, so... Hey, kitty. Say hi, Hawk. No? Okay. She doesn't want to say hi, guys. I'm sorry. I let her make the rules since she's the baby. And now I realize she's out of food. So, one moment, I gotta go feed the cat. Alright, here you go, Her greed sickens me. Nah. I fill up her bowl twice a day. If I actually were to get a standing desk, I don't think I could draw. Like, typing and not even editing, because most of my editing posture is this. Which, I mean, if I was editing while standing up, mostly using the mouse, maybe it'd be a little bit... I'd be less infuriated when doing editing. But drawing, man, I don't think I could draw while standing, even if it was at a desk. I think the best thing I would use a standing desk for is just for writing. Because then, you know, when I write my scenes, in order to help with, like, dialogue and the way characters are positioned, I act it out sometimes. Because if I don't act it out, I have a hard time picturing what the characters are doing. So if I have a standing desk, I'd be writing, and then, wait, no, if he does this, and then they do this, you know, and then it'd be like, alright, what pose am I imagining in my head that this character takes? Okay, so what words do I need to use to take what's here in animation form to put onto paper to be for a graphic novel? Because I've talked about this before on stream. One of my biggest struggles with making comics is the fact that everything I imagine, whether it be for books, comics, graphic novels, actual animations, all of my stories that I imagine are animated. Like in my head. It's like I'm watching a movie or like some sort of TV show. I don't know what like the art style is in my head because I can't picture that. So when it comes to making comics, especially like graphic novels, I have to take screenshots of the like the mental movie that I have going on and then put it to paper. Not only do I have to do that, but I also, with comics, you have to format them so that the frames tell the story and like help accentuate the story. So it's not quite like an animation, like just taking screenshots, because you gotta like add dramatic lines and write in sound effects, which I have not done in my. You want back out now? No, she wants back out. Yeah, okay. She just wanted a snack. I will close this because it echoes in here. I don't want it to get too loud for the rest of the fam. Come on. There we go. And I'm feeling good. Okay, I think that's just a branch or a bird because it sounds like there's a dog barking. And it's not one of ours. So unless the neighbors have dogs and I just never noticed it. Because usually at this time of night, oh my god. At this time of night I have either music is going or I'm watching some sort of movie or documentary in the background. That is a dog barking. Hold on. Okay. It's way off in the distance. I think it's one of our neighbors. Now, the reason why I am so about hearing another dog barking is because we've had problems with the neighbors' dogs in the past. I don't think they have the same dogs anymore, but those we have had problems in the past, and their dogs got out and killed a bunch of our livestock. It sounds like it's coming from over there, though. Is that it just echoing from the window off the wall? I think it is, yeah. Ugh. That was really close. I we've had less problems with coyotes in the area than we've had with, you know, the neighbors' dogs. All right. Well, now my anxiety is spiked. Awesome. Oh well. Oh, they're so sad. Oh, okay. Let me fill in this behind his mouth and then change that because I don't want him to seem like a sad boy. I mean, he kind of is, but I want him to be more like a more shy. There we go. That's much better. Yeah. Yeah, he's not a sad baby. He's happy now. He's in a good home. Okay, I need to flashback. Oh my god, I keep doing it. I keep doing it. I rearranged my hotkeys and they haven't adjusted to them yet. For his, I'm going to be purple, pink, and blue. Let's just use the Gaussian blur. Turn the opacity slightly down, and there we go. And then, what the hell? We'll also Gaussian blur, but not as much. That. And then that's what it'll look like. Oh my god, that is so cute. That is so cute. Alright, let's get his name. I'm gonna do it in purple as well. One thing I'm terrified about with Art Fight, or with just any of my writing and character stuff in general, is that one time I'll accidentally spell their names wrong. Because I chose a unique spelling to be quirky, and I did it again. And then, like, unconsciously, I'll write something else, and then it's like, oh, wait, no! That wasn't the right color! Color? What? Spelling? Hello? Where am I? It's so funny. If I make his name tag slightly slightly blurry because he's got bad vision and he can't see. Oh my god, would that be mean? Only slightly. Let's see. What are the other girls? What are their thingamabobs look like? And am I don't want to lowball him. Oh, they got textures. Okay. So what's this baby doll gonna be? Since his design is not so subtly based off of Sylveon, I think hearts would do the trick. There we go. Just soften up the strays a little bit, because it would look like that. Oh my god, that is so cute. Save, and that's done. Uh-oh. Whew. Said Medibang not responding. It was like, no! Not again! Okay, next. Jazzy. Oh, okay, then we got to... Stefan. I'm doing them all out of order from my to-do list because when I first made the to-do list, I was like, yep, these are just what I was thinking. And then I was like, no, well, let's do it and what's necessary first. So then, now that I have Carney's rev sheet done, I should probably do his icon. But, you know, that's not as important as everyone else's icons whose, like, their profiles are almost all done and ready to go. All they need is the little icon avatar thing for art fight and connections. I have not really written a lot of their connections because it's mostly a lot of writing and concepting, and I just need to find the words for it. I'm also going to use the smooth pen for this one. Now this is Jazzy, or Jazz-E, or just Jazz. And he is my Protogen OC. He's one of the first furry OCs I've made. That was a... Ugh, that looks terrible. An open species. The first one I actually made was Clover. What the fuck is going on? And they are a Dutch Angel Dragon. They're also up on Artfight, and I worked on their icon off stream because, you know, it was actually a full illustration that I wanted to use the footage for a video. So I did record it. So whatever video I make next, I had thought I was going to make a 28 things I learned in 28 years because it's my birthday this Friday. Saturday. But I'm like halfway through the script for that video and I'm like, there's a lot of things I could write down that I did learn, but are they like on theme? Because I mean, it's supposed to be like life advice or something. Hi, cat. Welcome to the stream. New setup for Twitch because Streamlabs fucked me over yesterday and crashed while I was live. And I decided to enact my revenge by yeeting it off my computer. So we are streaming with OBS now. Okay, I should really round out the hood because I don't want him to look like a Primogen. There. Because they're a closed species and I don't want to get in trouble. The VOD for that doomed stream is still up on my Twitch, and I need to download it, or you know what? I should post that to my YouTube VOD channel. Because while it was only 30 minutes, the things we talked about were pretty fun. Wait, no, I might have said some things. Hang on, I'll have to, like, rewatch the VOD and then see what's usable. It's not the first time a stream has crashed on me unceremoniously, and each time it happens, ooh boy, does it ever piss me off. Jesus! Someone's just slammed the front door, letting one of the cats out, probably. Out or in. And the way our house is, we have, let me show you. We have like a hallway, the back door, a thin wall, my room, a window. Here, like, and then here's my door to get out of the room. Here's my desk. So when people are, not people, when people are at, and animals are at the door, I'm technically, physically the closest in the house, but I'm actually not the farthest, but it's actually a pretty long way for me to get to the front door. I have high anxiety tonight. I was hoping your stream would help me chill. You have chill stream. Well, let's all try not to have an anxiety attack together then. Ooh boy, if you want to trigger my anxiety, like, rune anxiety speed run. Number 1, slam door. Number 2, do anything slightly loudly, and I'll assume that you're mad at me. I should not be laughing. That's oof. Oof. Anyway. Safe space for mental health, and part of mental health is venting. Now, do not trauma dump in the chat. I mean, I trauma dump on stream all the time, but, like, no, like, uber personal information. And no forced negativity. We try to keep the vibes good around here, but if the vibes are already sour, it's like, you know what? Fuck it. Let's politics, am I right? We walk the line without ever actually intending to cross over. You don't allow that on your streams either? Yeah. I don't know of a single streamer that allows um, trauma dumping on their streams. Now, unless that is like the point of the stream, is like, you know what, everyone, vent in the chat right now. And then they do it, but I've never seen anyone actually do that. Not saying it doesn't happen, but it probably does, and I just don't watch those kinds of streams because I was like, oh, jeez, why? Why? I'll watch a stream that has a horror game in it and like graphic content, but yeah, emotional vulnerability. You know, my stream crying at you and you banned them on site. I think they were whining about school, and I said, yeah, like, yeah, no. Yeah, I hate to like ban kids, but it's also like if you're under 13, you're not allowed on Twitch anyway, so like and I can't verify your age on Twitch because I can't legally ask your age because that's just no bueno. But if you're like, "Hi, I'm 12." It's like, "Nope, you're gone." Gonzo. Even if you've done nothing wrong, if that's your first message. I don't mind if people want to like, "Hey, I just need to get this off my chest." But honestly, you shouldn't be doing that kind of shit on the internet. As much as I like to have the, the vibe of someone who's friendly and has a safe space, you don't know if your trauma dumping is triggering someone else's. And honestly, I'm not a therapist, so like what would I say to you, like to all these people trauma dumping and like expecting advice and whatnot, because I'd just be sitting here like um that wow, that's rough, buddy. I don't know what to tell you. Like that's not helpful. And now it's like, wow, damn, okay, yeah. Way to bring down the vibe, man. So, like, if we're all as a chat talking about like mental health and whatnot, I'll allow it. But if you like if we're like all talking about rainbows and ponies and the magic of friendship and whatnot, and then you come in here saying like, "Oh, yeah, my dog just died," and like, okay, yeah, bro, that sucks, but like, you're going in timeout. Now you got a dead dog and in your timeout. Because what the fuck, man? I mean, I didn't need to know that. Yeah, Rainbow Dash. There, people will use that against you. Agree not to. Yeah, yeah. Just no. It's just safe. The safest thing. The easiest way to keep yourself safe is to just not engage. But that's also has its own risks. Okay, I like that so far. Yeah, don't overshare. It's too risky. Exactly. Especially with the colorful cast of characters that seem to be running around on in the Twitch space. Disrespect. That are just not great people. And honestly, they should have been booted off way sooner. I'm glad they did get booted off, but still, took them long enough. Can you believe he tried to come back? Like, He like got disowned by his company live uh on Twitch, and he's like, hey guys, I'm gonna end stream for today. I need to take a break. And then he's like, yeah, I'm just going on hiatus. We all agreed that it was just be better for everyone if I just stepped down. It's like, dude, no, you literally got fired because you were trying to go meet a child. No, you don't get to walk away from that. But, I mean, he got his channel removed, and he tried to come back. Well, he didn't get his channel removed. That happened later. But still, it's like, nah, man, nah. What the fuck is going on? I mean, we all got a joke in the internet sphere. It was like, oh damn, they got another one. Another famous streamer that got outed as a diddler. Saying, oh my god. It's not every streamer, but it's just enough to be like, now when it happens, we're like, another one? Okay, Jesus. Which is a terrible reaction to have to that kind of situation, but it happens so much, man. I'm tired of this grandfather. Anyway. Insert insult here. He was working with AI, sold up. Oh my god. This thought was original. They paying him 60 bucks. Wow. It's quite a following, trying to stay on top. Yeah. Oh my god. 60 bucks for AI slop. Whew. He admitted it later on his stream that he... Oh my god. Oh, speaking of AI and how much it sucks. If you use Google as a search engine, what you do is you type up whatever blah blah search you want to do and do minus AI in the search. It automatically gets rid of the AI overview and all of the AI related stuff that is just taking over Google. You just do that in your search engine, and boom, it just disappears. It goes away. You do have to manually type this in at the end with a space of whatever you're searching up. And it is so freeing. It just, I didn't contribute to the lack of drinking water in this country. Yay. I'm a good noodle. I learned that on Pinterest. I don't even remember what the original pin was about, but I think it was a pin about something, and then someone in the comments was like, I'm trying to be like a good person and live sustainably, but I don't know where to start. And literally like 50 people was like, stop using AI. And I'm sitting there like, stop using AI? Who started? I never started you. Well, okay, the AI search engine, it's unavoidable. But now, it is avoidable. Minus AI. Boom. Gone. Cease to exist. Also, another thing I didn't realize, I use Firefox as a browser, and I've only joined the Firefox game recently. Did you know you can change your default browser to Wikipedia? I did not know that. Sadly, Firefox does not have Ecosia, which is another search engine that like every like 100 searches you use with Ecosia, they plant a tree. Like that the whole point of Ecosia is the more people use their search engine, the more trees they plant. So, hey, bucket of Jaybird. I'm dying. Is it okay if I call you a Jaybird? Or bucket? um, okay, yeah. But Ecosia is really cool. Sadly, it's not available on Firefox yet. But that's also really cool. So I've changed my search engine to Wikipedia because if I'm going to be deceived by misinformation, it's going to be by the people. And besides, it just keeps me from Bucket or Jaybird is fine. Okay. I just wanted to be sure. We are working, if you're new here, we are working on, if you're new here, since you're new here, we are working on the, some furry art for some art fight prep. These are my characters that are already on Art Fight, which is linked in my About page, I think. And if you don't know what Art Fight is, because I have to say this for all the people, so if y'all know, you know, chime in. Art Fight is an art trading game where a bunch of artists for the entire month of July band together and draw each other's OCs. It's weaponized fan art. We're split into teams. And it's a fun time for everyone. Fellow art fighter, yeah, let's go. Yeah, you know it. You know it. You know it. I'm so jazzed. I want to know. I'm on the edge of my seat for what the teams are gonna be, and I'm also a little bit miffed because the weekend they announced the teams, I'm gonna be away on vacation, like visiting family, and I'm for an entire week, and I'm just, I know. So like the second I get back, I'll have 1 week left of June to prep for Art Fight. It's gonna be a rush. Your 5th year participating. Bitch, me too. 5th year. Let's go. I'm going to not use black, but I'm going to use a very deep blue. That is basically black. And it's the same thing. Okay, that's a little bit better. Just made an Art Fight account. Anything you should know? Don't go on TikTok. Most of that drama is fake. Um, be sure to read the rules because they're actually they're quite clear. And off the top of my head, only do as much as you want to do. It's not requirement that you like draw or revenge every single piece of art that you get. Not a requirement. You don't have to do that. And if you have any preferences, put it in your character preferences. If you're like, if since this is your first year, Cat, you can just say, hey, in your bio, you can write on your bio and say, hey, first year art fighter, going to be like a you know. Well, I don't know what you would say. Because for my first year of art fight, I dove head first, man. I was so ready. But that's because I knew about art fight for like 3 years before I joined in. Read the rules. Filter, yes. The rating rules. Yeah, a lot of people think, oh my god, there's so many rules. It's not that complicated. It's really, most of the rules are just be respectful and, there's a difference between art fight etiquette and art fight rules. Now, if you're worried about art fight etiquette, that is mostly be respectful, don't draw hate crimes, no slurs, no nudity, no sexual stuff. It's mostly like that is art fight etiquette. Now, the actual art fight rules are it's only in July, only original art, no bases, no tracing, no AI. Um, uh, be respectful. Like off the top of my head, I can't think of anything outstanding. That would like cause. That would give people pause. And then I think they're very straightforward. You just read through them. They're front and center on the main page. Just don't be an ass and have fun. You can't draw very well, and that worries you. No biggie. I've gotten. I don't want to be mean. No, it's not mean. I've gotten attacks from people on Art Fight that were drawing with just a number 2 pencil on lined paper. And it might have been their first year, and they were probably like, because you need to be 13 and older to join Art Fight, so they're probably like a kid. Oh, this is so cute. I didn't mean to do that. Hang on. No, clip, because mm. And it's completely okay if you only have one OC up on Art Fight and they have like just a drawing of them. As long as the drawing is clear enough that you can see most of their design and they have something in their bio or in their in their bio, that's all you can do. And then you can just add to it. Like you don't have to you know what? No, I'm going to unclip that and then clip this. You can update your art fight profile and your character profiles during art fight. There's no limit to that. Now, it's a little bit infuriating if you like update a rep sheet during art fight when someone's already drawn your character. It's like, oh, well, gee. Yep, all mediums and skill levels. Exactly. Except music. That's the only art medium. Writing and music are the only art mediums that Art Fight doesn't have room for. But you can do 2D, 3D, as long as it's your original model. You animation, comics, uh claymation. I've seen people like do like or crafts. You can do crafts. If you like crochet someone's character, that's allowed. Or if you make like a little figurine of them, that's all allowed as long as it's some sort of craft that you can take a picture of and put it on Art Fight. She's allowed. The writing one, not so much, and the music, nah. But unless you make an animation and then have like voice acting in it, but that's only if you're crazy. Kitty wants in. Should I use my own characters for art fight? Yes. The one rule that I do get hung up on a little bit for art fight is your characters have to be yours and like original. Now what they mean by that, as long as your characters are not copywritten or like just like a recolor of a copywritten character, that's not allowed at all. Um they can't be like personified countries. That was a new rule that or I think it was a new rule. I don't remember it being there last year, but they can't be like personified countries. They made that perfectly clear because that leans too far into like political characters. There's a lot of noises coming on going on right now. Freaking me out, man. And like if you have an OC like I do that's shipped with a canon like character or copywritten character and you draw that OC with that character, you have to make the copywritten character look different than their like official design. You have to kind of like OC-ify the official character. You can fudge it just a little bit, but you know, and if you have a character that's like an OC for a show, that is allowed, but you do have to give credit saying like this, you know, credit like if it was a pony character, you have to say credit Lauren Faust, which I haven't done personally, so it's like a some people might see my OC as Sailor Moon. You can say like they're Sailor Moon inspired. And also, if you can't think of like a full character design, you can just make a profile and then put in the permissions redesigns wanted, or you can like change her design. Some people even have like whole characters on their profile that's called design me a character, and then you put like here's what I like in an OC. That's and here's like my preferences, and then I'll credit the original artist, and then once you give them that art, that's their OC now. So that is allowed. It is allowed on Art Fight because it does still encourage creativity. I've done them a few times. They're so fun. Because I just took like a random character generator like on that I stole from Pinterest where you like roll a die and it chooses features. And they ended up really liking it. So I was like, yes. I did a thing and it was good. The Italian fans are gonna throw a fit with no performance out of my country. Ooh, yeah. I have a character, an OC, that I know would not be allowed on Art Fight at all. And she's an X-Men OC, and I know she wouldn't be allowed at all because in her canon, she's a Holocaust survivor. Big words. And then after, surviving the camps, she joined the Russian military, the literal KGB. So it's like, oof. Yeah, she's not allowed at all because the only art you could draw of her is like maybe using her powers and with the X-Men, but if you wanted to draw any cool background, not background, like backstory or art like that, you'd have to use some problematic symbols in there. So it'd be, no, that's not allowed on Art Fight, and I fully understand that. I'm okay with it. She can just be my little bab. You can have characters with like effed up backgrounds as long as it doesn't like as long as it's not a part of real world history. and politics, it's fine. But that is not allowed on Art Fight because they want it to be, non-political, even though art is inherently political. But I get what they're saying. I get why they're saying it, because then you'll get some fuck ass neo-Nazi up in there drawing someone go Heil Hitler, and it's like no 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 no. I see why they don't do it. And they're like, oh, why don't they allow countries? Well, because history is bloody, man. If history isn't making you uncomfortable, it's propaganda. So they just decided to say no to that. You have characters with similar hairstyles as the other. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, as long as they're your own design, don't have any uh hateful symbols on them, and aren't like overly political and whatnot, that's fine. As long as you didn't use a base to make the ref sheet. And that's like they don't allow bases at all. And one cool thing, you can like have a character up, you can have character art as their ref sheets, and you don't have to be the artist. You just have to credit that artist and have their permission to post it up on Artfight. That's allowed too, as long as the attacks that you post are yours. That's fine. But the characters can be designed by someone else. I have several characters up on Artfight that were all adoptables, so I just credited the original designer. But the art is mine. I'm adding way too much detail on his freaking things, but I finally want him to look like these are screens. Like these are like LED screens, so I'm going for it. Part art them of Artfight, so I'm doing. So what I'm doing is setting up a toy house so people can see his full backstory if they want. That's a smart idea. You know what? Well, I don't actually want her on Artfight, but yeah, all my characters also have a toy house that has all of their art. For Artfight, I just have their ref sheet and maybe a few extra pieces of art, like their profile picture. And then on their toy house, I have all the extra art and little extra lore. Except I do put their full profile, like their bios, like all their information, I put it on Artfight because I know a lot of people, I don't want to say people are lazy because most people are, but artists tend not to be. They tend to like stay on Artfight. Like they're not going to like click off. They're not people usually I can fucking talk. Are people are usually are unwilling to click off of the main website to go read a 50-page backstory to, just draw one attack for a character. Now, I like to have my attacks have something to do with the character, because if I've drawn some attacks that had nothing to do with a character's personality because there was just nothing to work off of, and it was really frustrating. And I made this attack and I was like, I'm not very proud of it. You know what I'm gonna do? You know what I'm gonna do? Copy a paste. A transform. Whoop, 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 whoop. That was a bit too big. There we go. Copy paste is my favorite tool. Actually, Control Z is my favorite tool. Just try to make an attack true to the character. Exactly. And if you can't think of anything, you know, just them doing is fine. I've drawn plenty of attacks where I couldn't think of anything to draw, so I just drew them being cute. I just drew a bust of them being cute. I literally have this one, I drew art of this one protogen where he was literally just doing this. And it was funny. I thought it was cute and they liked it. I could not think of anything for that character. And there's this one attack idea I have in my head because not only would it be the funniest thing ever, but it's also it would also be some fan art for this YouTuber slash streamer I follow that is also on our fight, Twisted Disaster. I've been following them for so long, and the attack idea I have for them, and I've had this idea in my head for a while, would be a mini, like, comic of drawing their characters, reenacting a scene from the pilot of The Amazing Digital Circus. Because one time when they were having a watch stream, like, they were working on some fan art while while watching Amazing Digital Circus, and this scene came on, and they started howling because what would happen is like that would so work with this character, and I just went, Firm, I know what we're doing today. Sorry to scare you with my evil face, but that's the face I make when I have a deliciously creative idea. Love to follow you on our fight. Yeah, that's okay, man. You're working on the Amazing Digital Circus OC right now? Oh my god. I also have an Amazing Digital Circus OC. I haven't put her up on Artfight because I already put up a lot of characters on Artfight, and I'm like, oh jeez, man. I know I'm going to get swamped this year. If last year was any indication, this year I'm going to get absolutely annihilated. I got ratioed last year. But it's my fault for adding so many new OCs in one year. But I wanted to add these OCs to Artfight for so long, and it's, you know, it's my 5th year, so I might as well just add them. And then I might just archive the other characters, and then, you know, switch them out for, like, every other year. What's your art fight? My art fight is just rune lol at artfight.com. Are there dashes? I think it's linked in my about page. If it's not, I am so sorry. Let's see. Yeah, there are dashes. Just rune, all caps, dash lol. Here, let me type it out in the chat. Actually, you know what? I'm a streamer. Copy. Paste. Oh, there we go. Bada bing, bada boom. Okay. That's good. What is this? That's nothing. Put that up there. What is this? That's this. Okay. I love the Warriors OCs. Yeah, they're from my comic that I have up on DeviantArt. Which is another thing. A lot of the people that draw art from my Warriors OCs are not readers or fans of the comic, and I'm completely okay with that. You don't have to read the comic to draw like an attack for my Warriors OCs. I would like it if people read the comic and then or if like fans decided to do an attack and make like a little reference to their lore. That would be really funny. But, I'm okay if people just draw them in the woods being cute little kitties. That's completely fine. Hope people read the lore of your OCs and need it. Yeah. Some people do, some people don't. It's just. How am I gonna render this background? I just drew this sketch because I thought it looked cute, so it's like I had no vision of what it would look like finished, so now the hour has come at last, the soft and fading light across the west horizon, and it's bidding us good night. And what a lovely night it is to walk a moonlit field, to see the softer shades that are by starlight now revealed. So why is it that now, when all is quiet and at rest, when candles glow and all the world is at its very best, the ponies of Equestria should lark themselves away to shun the moon and wait instead for Sister Sunny Day? I can't hold that note as long as I would like. Am I so wrong to wish that they would see things like I do? And am I so wrong to think that they might love me too? Why shouldn't they adore me? Is it not within my right? I'll not be overshadowed, mine is not the lesser light. I've waited long enough now for them all to come around, and though the sun may plead and threaten, the moon will stand her ground. I can't be as loud as I usually am when I'm singing because it is 11 o'clock at night. So, I don't want to wake up the whole household. Comes to this at last, I will no longer yield the sky, if they cannot love but one princess alone. See, the moon is rising, she has come to claim the heavens for her own, and all will know the wonders of my dark and jeweled sky, when all the world is wrapped in an eternal lullaby. So say good night of this, the final setting of the sun, Tomorrow dawns in darkness, the night time has begun. I sang Lullaby for a Princess earlier on stream, so I was like, you know what, let's sing the Moonrises, because that's also a good one. Oh, see, your drawing is so angsty. It's amazing digital, it could it not be? I have an OC, an amazing digital Circus OC that is a giant bee. She's a beanie baby, a bee beanie baby, and for obvious reasons. I was not okay after episode 8, as you could probably tell. All the world is wrapped in an eternal lullaby. Okay, let's just add that so I can see what I'm doing. It's funny, Jazzy is not a space-themed character. He's actually more music-themed. And if you can't tell by his design, I kind of based him off of Transformers G1 Jazz, because I love jazz so much. The character and the music. Actually, his original design was based off of Soundwave. I was like, why is he designed like Soundwave when he's named after jazz? You know what? Let's just design him actually after jazz. And then I'll make another OC that's based off of Soundwave. And now they are boyfriends. Oh god, the pixels. The pixels! What have I done? I have a mother-son duo that look like teddy bears. Oh, highly inspired by old plush cartoons. Some canonically abstract. Oh, and the plot. Haven't decided when though. Yeah, I'm not sure how my OC would have handled Kane's death. Probably not well. But then she's also kind of like, that OC is also a therapist. I'm coping really hard with that OC. Alright, good night, cat. Hope you have sweet dreams. Before you go. Sleepy kitty. Honk. Oh, she's sleepy. She ippy. I hate that my webcam light needs to get brighter before I turn it off. Well, that's pretty warm. We've been streaming for 3.5 hours. Well, that's cool. You know what? Yeah, I will have that. Let's give him a cool background. I was also Team Stardust the year before. Because last year was Crystal. I completely forgot that last year was Crystal's. Yeah. Crystal and Fossil. In my sketchbook journal, I made the joke that of my character sitting like this, and it was like, "What team, rock or rock?" I'm not gonna shade him because that would just be that would be way too much. And I'm not gonna color his line art because he's not. I don't really color his line art, and that since I color everyone else's line art in the comic world that he's from, that would be so funny because he's literally an alien. So if I don't color his line art, that'll really set him apart from the others. That I'm a genius. You were team Bloom, Werewolf, Seafoam, and Fossil. That is so funny, Jay, because that means we were on the opposite team every single year. Because I was Wither, Vampire, Stardust, and Crystal. That is so funny. Whatever the teams are this year, we have to agree to be on the opposite one. Let's keep the tradition alive. Well, it's good. If we're on opposite teams, that means each time we attack each other, it'll be more points. Okay, real question. Because I've noticed this with Art Fight, and it doesn't bother me, but it's just interesting. The point of Art Fight is to be split into teams and then compete for the amount of points that you get each year. And the more you attack, the more points you get, and all that. It's competition. It's literally a competition, team based competition. The whole premise of the website is to be a team based competition. So, why is it that I see no good natured team rivalry? Like, I don't see any good natured, team rivalries on Art Fight, or like people going like, hell fucking yeah, let's go! Watch out, other team, we're gonna get you! Let's come on! I'm just like, we're gonna get you. What are we gonna? We're gonna give you more love and appreciation as fellow artists. It would like any threat that could be perceived is all out of love. But then again, I'm also like not on any other social media, so maybe there is something on like Twitter of people like making posts like, "Come on, team, let's go. We're almost there. We can't lose." Because I mentally do that for myself, but that's probably why I don't see it on Art Fight, because we just mentally have like, okay, where it's a close competition at the end, so I need to do all these different attacks. I need to get so many points. Oh, but this person is like really cool characters, a friendly fire. I'll do just a bust for the friendly fire, and then to compensate, I'll do a full illustration for like an other team attack. There we go. And let's keep this revenge chain going. Like rack up the points and whatnot. I don't see a whole lot of the friendly competition aspect of Art Fight anywhere else. And again, not complaining. It's just something I noticed because I'm actually surprisingly quite a competitive person. So when I'm like in a competition, I'm like in it. If it's something I care about, at least. I say that, you say that to your friends, streamers on an opposite team, and playfully say, "Oh, it's on site." Yeah, yeah. I got, oh my god, last year there was this one this one viewer that dogpiled me with attacks. Just one after another. Would not wait for me to revenge them at all. So we couldn't even keep a revenge chain going. Got slightly irritated with that. Completely wrecked my ratios. If you look at my attacks, all of the attacks that are from the same artist were done in like 3 days. And I was just, I can't keep up. Because I used to be so like proud of my battle ratio being more than 50%. Like I was at 60% battle ratio. But then last year I got ratioed. I'm like, oh god, okay, this year is all going to be about getting those ratios back up. In the nicest way possible, I hope that Art Fighter that saw me last year is either not doing Art Fight this year or has decided to attack other people because oh my, I don't think I would survive being ratioed that hard again. That is not an invitation. That is not an invitation. Please don't ratio me. And if you're going to attack me with all these arts, wait till I do a revenge and then we'd get a chain going, for fuck's sake. We'd get more points with an attack chain. But it's all in jest. Okay, I gotta do his name now. Just hope I can do more than 10 attacks this year. I hope to be streaming all of my attacks this year. I don't, because I typically stream on both Twitch and YouTube. So I don't know how I'm going to schedule out my streams for July. Hello. I hope to do, if nothing bad happens, a stream every other day, except, Saturday and Sunday. And then hopefully it'll be more in the evening. So. Oh, I didn't. Oh, damn it. Oh, damn it. I didn't. Shite. Okay, hang on. I hope with my art fight streams I get my YouTube channel past 500 subscribers. And then I get a lot of watch times from the stream because I really, really just want my channel monetized. Even if I make pennies a month, I don't care. It's monetized. I can just say that it's like, oh, I did it. But then again, I haven't really been making a whole lot of videos, and so it not being monetized yet, it's kind of my fault. And as much as I would love to also have my Twitch to be affiliate. Well, not, I don't really want to be an affiliate, but you know, to have also have subscribers and members and whatnot. It's probably not going to happen this year, but I know Art Fight is insanely popular, and I do get a lot of viewership and subscriber boosts. I mean, like, come on, right now. And then I know it sounds like I'm just, oh, you're just in it for the views, you're just in it for the money. No, because if I was just in it for the money, I would have quit years ago and gotten a retail job. I'm still here because I'm passionate about it. I also do need money to live. So as much as it is to have to be sure to like and subscribe and follow and make sure the notification bell and whatnot. And oh, if you have any extra cash at all, I have a Ko-fi tip jar that you can just do one-time donations. It's necessary for the job, but I also hate every second of it because I hate being a shill. And I know we're all in the shitter economically. But like the old saying, the old song goes, we used to dream of outer space, but now they're laughing on our face saying, wake up, you need to make money. On a lighter note, I really like how this is turning out. So at least that's good. It's been so long since I've heard that song, and I don't really listen to a whole lot of 21 Pilots, and when I did, it was just that song. So I'm not a fan. Like, okay, I don't mean it like oh, I'm not a fan of 21 Pilots. No, it's just I only liked that one song. Cuz I mean, yeah. Wish we could turn back time to the good old days when the mama sang us to sleep, but now we're stressed out. I mean, come on, that's just a good song anyway. Come on, stop it. Almost forgot how to draw a Z for a second. Drag Path is also really good. One of the best. I've heard people talking about that song, but I never actually listened to it. I couldn't find it. Yeah, it was like Drag Path 21 Pilots. I looked it up on YouTube, could not find it. I don't know what happened. But maybe if I look now, it'd be there, but it's currently on YouTube. Okay, I'll check it out then. I'm gonna take that as a sign as needing to take a wee break. So yeah, as soon as I finish this one, I'm going to end stream. I mean, we've been going for almost 3 hours now, so yeah, that'll make up for stream crashing the other day. Hopefully. Okay, I need something just a little. I was supposed to only get a digital release for like 8 days, and then it was gone, but the fans yelled enough, so they posted it. Oh, that's probably why I couldn't find it anywhere. No, I don't. How the yuck am I supposed to do this? No. No. I still don't like that, but nah, that's. All right. Well, I'll just figure that out later. But the majority of it is done. So I'm going to. Hopefully, this won't crash. I'm going to change my to-do list to say she's done for the most part. And then there we go. Next time we go live, I'll know to remove those. So, thank you so much for watching. Hang on, let me, that's really bright. Anyway, thank you so much for watching this stream. I'm testing out a new schedule where I stream more in the evenings rather than in my old schedule being in the noon, I don't know, midday. So let me know if evenings work for y'all more. I think actually the evenings are better. I might have to rework my usual schedule. I forgot I had that up there. Yeah, that was an impulse buy. Limited edition though. What was I talking about? Yes. Evening schedule. And streaming on Twitch. Since I streamed extra long today, I probably won't stream tomorrow on Twitch, but on YouTube on Friday, I definitely will be streaming. I'm not sure what time though. I'm probably gonna stream noon on YouTube because that's when I usually stream, and then in that stream I'll tell people like, hey, I'm gonna switch to an evening schedule because maybe it works out for people more. So then yeah, and it's going to be art fight prep for like the rest of this month, and then all of July it's going to be art fight. So Look forward to that. All my social media links are in the About page. And yeah, I'll see you later, if I don't die. If I don't die. Bye-bye.